Hey guys, Ash here from C4 Retech and welcome to another episode of Ash Answers. Ash Answers is a show where I answer the questions you ask on Twitter using the hashtag Ash Answers. So now let's get to the questions. And before we start, this week I noticed quite a few questions where you hadn't used the hashtag Ash Answers. So when I'm picking questions, I'm gonna click on the hashtag and then sort it to be able to pick it. So even if you reply to my tweet, I wouldn't be able to pick your question unless the hashtag Ash Answers is used in it. So that's it. Let's get to the first question. When do you expect the first Snapdragon 710 phone to come and its price point? So we should be seeing the 710 phones really soon because Qualcomm says that they've already, as in the chip is already available for manufacturers to build on. So we should start seeing the first 710 phones really soon. And the price question, now that's the big question, isn't it? So going by track record, I feel it might be priced above the 30K segment as of now because even 660 phones, the cheapest 660 phone is the Mi 6X, which starts at 15,000 rupees. So I highly doubt we are going to see 710 below 30K. So it is going to be a premium mid-range. I know it's a weird word to say, but premium mid-range is what I expect it to be. But I would be glad if I'm proved wrong. What the OnePlus 5 users will miss the most when it comes to OnePlus 6 other than display? I'm gonna say you're gonna miss the optical zoom option. So that's probably my biggest pet peeve with the OnePlus 6, the fact that it doesn't have optical zoom. I understand the second camera helping with low light is great and I appreciate the fact that it exists, but I would have, one sec, I just wanna fix the mic a little bit. Okay, I would have preferred to see optical zoom on it because I feel low light is good, but I don't know, I just want optical zoom. It was something I really loved about the OnePlus 5. What do you think? Here's a poll. Let me know, what would you prefer, better low light or optical zoom? I'm pretty sure it's gonna be split down the middle. Let's see. I almost dropped the Mi pad. So yeah, that's that. Will Asus release a new mobile in India after Zenfone Max Pro or not? Still waiting for Zenfone 5, so underwhelming from such a big partnership. Another phone should come soon. The rumors we've been hearing is that the Zenfone 5 and maybe even the 5Z should come in H2. So that's July and later. So hopefully Asus do come out with it. It would be nice to see a Zenfone 5 or even a Zenfone 5Z competitively priced. Both phones look super interesting. So we can't wait to get our hands on it. If and when we get to know more, I'll make sure I let you know. Do follow us on Twitter at C4Retech. That's the easiest way for me to keep you guys updated. When will we get to see OnePlus 6 speed tests? There's one that's already live, OnePlus 6 versus the iPhone 10. So guys, here's the problem, right? It's that I've not been in the office. Now, that's an excuse. Let's not even talk about that. It's just that there's so many things that have launched. We had the Black Shark, and then the OnePlus 6 came out, and then Samsung had two releases. And before you say Samsung's releases are meh, the fact is a lot of people do want to watch it, whether it's good or bad. I'm not an advertising agency to just do videos about good stuff. I do videos about anything and everything that you guys are interested about. So which is why we had to cover the two Samsungs, and then there were two Honor launches. The Honor 10 also launched around the same time, meaning we had to cover all these phones. And just before that, we had the P20 and P20 Lite. So all these, and the Realme as well. So the Realme review had to go live somewhere in between. So all these together with IPL at times do, hitting our, we have 3 o'clock as our premier release time and 7 o'clock as our secondary release time. But with IPL, we couldn't do a 7 o'clock release because we don't want to go against IPL, right? Viewership is too low at that point, meaning we were restricted to one video a day. And well, we didn't have the slots to come up with more speed tests. That's the honest reality behind it. So yeah, you did see one speed test. Let's see if a lot of you guys liked it. Based on what your comments are, we might do more. So if there's any particular speed test that you'd like to see, let me know in the comments below and we'll try to make it happen. Why doesn't Harris come on Ash Answers with you? He did a commendable job as a sub. So the reason Harris is not on Ash Answers is a lot of people, I mean, not everybody, a lot of you guys are very understanding, but there are some people who are annoyed about the personal changes here, which were beyond my control. But as of now, I have been doing this for 6 years. I am better suited to handle all the hate. I don't mind seeing I'm okay with people going bonkers in the comments and saying weird things. But Harris is young. I don't want to put him to it right now. Even on speed tests in the past, whenever Harris has done it, people have been a little bit harsh. So basically, Harris is available. He's currently in the next room working on thumbnails for a review that's going live next week. But I'm not pulling him into Ash Answers because I just want you guys to get a little bit more familiar with the fact that this is how it's going to be going forwards, and hopefully we'd get Harris can't do every Ash Answers, but once in a while he'd definitely be open to popping in and out, so you would see him on Ash Answers going forwards. As of now, just shielding him a little bit. So moving on, OnePlus 5T to 6 upgrade. I think most of you who've been following C4 Tech for a long time, you'd know my answer to this. Single generation upgrades are not acceptable unless it's only one phone for which I've ever recommended a single generation upgrade. If you remember, let me know in the comments below. 5T to 6, hell no. 5T is an amazing phone. As of today, it's an excellent phone. If you have to choose between both, would you buy a 5T at 33 or a 6 at 35, or even a 5T at 30 or a 6 at 35? Then go buy the 6. It's newer, it's going to be supported longer, it's got a better chip and all that. But don't upgrade from the 5T to the 6. It's just not worth it. Xiaomi Mi 8, your expectations and pricing of the device in India. Here's a card to my video on the Mi 8, so do check it out. Although Snapdragon 650 was more powerful than the 625, why all brands preferred 625? There were only very few models with 650. Your thoughts on this? So the 650 was basically old technology. It was built on the 28 nanometer manufacturing process. So they had to put in bigger batteries, and brands didn't want to do that. Going sleek, going slim, that is the trend. So 625, while not as powerful as the 650, it was a more newer chip. It was also the more expensive chip, which is why you saw it on a lot of phones when it came out. The 650 was not really on a lot of phones except the Redmi Note 5. It was there on some phone, Redmi Note 3, I'm sorry. It was on some phones, but phones we didn't really like, right? Sony put it on the Xperia X at 50K. HTC tried to sell it on the HTC something lifestyle. HTC 10 lifestyle, I don't remember, something like that. Again, a 50K phone didn't work. Xiaomi popularized it. So we didn't see it in a lot of phones, because by the time the prices fell to a point where a brand like Xiaomi could afford to put it in their lower end phones, we had moved on from it. The 625 was out. Xiaomi had to come up with another phone for their next gen. They went with the 625, and we didn't get a successor to the 625 for a long time. Right, the 625 was kind of expedited because the 615 was having major issues, which means the 616, 617, minor revisions, nothing worked. Except for Samsung, no brand was able to come out of the phone that didn't throttle or heat. Either of these two was happening with every 615 phone. Samsung had a phone, I think the A7, I guess. I don't remember. One of Samsung's phones was the only 615 I've ever reviewed that didn't heat or throttle. Kudos to Samsung on that. But barring that, every other phone had an issue. So they had to expedite the 625. But given the success of the 625, Qualcomm wanted to be quite sure, quite confident of the successor, the 636. Even the 630 took a long time to come. So which is why we saw a lot of 625. Why did Huawei provide review units of P20 Pro to many US YouTube reviewers, even when they did not have plans to release the device in the US? Number one, they did have plans of releasing the device in the US. It kind of fell apart at the last moment with the AT&T thing. So that, but then again, we've seen brands like Xiaomi, for example. You look at the Mi Mix, it was given to all the Western media. Indian media didn't get it till much later. Similar experience with the Mi Mix 2 as well. So it's just that brands feel Western media has more of a global reach than dedicated regional media, as in per country media. So they always go to US and European YouTubers if they want to get their maximum exposure. I don't necessarily agree with it, but then again, it is what it is. That is the market trend. We've seen that even from Sony, right? Sony doesn't have carrier tie-ups in US. Their footprint in US is very, very small, but their flagships, it's the coverage. You always see the coverage from you've seen, I think even MKBHD has covered it once. Android Authority does it. You've seen a lot of US media do the coverage, whereas in India, Sony's PR is kind of non-existent. So it is what it is, again. Ash, you said display and processor you prefer more, then why don't you go with a Samsung Flagship as they offer best display and flagship processor than a Pixel phone? This is an excellent question. I give the most weightage to the display and processor, yes. So comparing a S9 with a Pixel 2, or rather a S8 or a Note 8 with a Pixel 2, the display, yes, the Note 8 has the better display. When it comes to, again, I wouldn't personally say the Pixel 2 is the better device. I'm always gonna say these are the pros and cons. What is more important to you, go with it. Me personally, I'd actually go with a Note 8 over a Pixel 2. I love the Pixel 2, but as somebody who shoots a lot of videos on the go, I would only go with Samsung in the flagship segment because manual video controls. And for those of you saying LG, yes, LG does manual video controls. I rarely have an LG phone in the office. LG isn't very proactive in sending out units and stuff. And I haven't seen enough interest from you guys in LG products for me to cover it. So when V30 Plus, a lot of you guys asked, we did make an exception, we did cover it. But otherwise, barring that, we don't see a lot of, because V30 Plus was an exception where LG actually priced it properly in India. Generally, what would have happened is V30 Plus, they would have priced it at 60K and then they would have said 10,000 rupees cash back or something like that. And 1.5 months later, you'd see it selling for 42, 43. This time they did price it sensibly, which means a lot of people were interested. If LG keeps doing it, we'll cover more LG. And maybe I'll choose an LG over a Samsung. But as of today, for me personally, I would go with Samsung in the flagship segment because their manual video controls are just unparalleled. Nobody else provides that as good as the Pixel cameras are. That is why I'd prefer it. But coming back to this question, why I like the Pixel 2 from a performance standpoint is it's snappier, it's faster. The flagship performance to a Note 8 to a Pixel there's no major difference. The chip might be better on the Note 8, but the Pixel, because of the stock Android over Samsung experience, it does feel faster. So where you say display and processor, I generally talk about display and performance. So the performance gets better on the Pixel. The display difference, yes, it's a difference. LG's POLED are nowhere close to the same quality of Samsung's AMOLED. But me personally, I don't have a huge problem with it. Yes, it has a tilt, but I don't look at the display that way. It's a lot. I'm not saying I'm not justifying LG's display. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it's not a big enough issue to be a deal breaker for me with the Pixel 2. So long-winded explanation, but again, it is what it is. I need to buy a phone with 5.5 inches or less with 18:9 screen and a good camera, budget 20K. Please suggest me. You tell me if you can find something. I haven't been able to find an 18:9 with a sub 5.5 inch display. The closest you get to is the Honor 9 Lite. It's got a little bit larger display, but again, it's not a great phone. I mean, for somebody looking at a 20K phone, it's a 9K phone, so it's not going to deliver on the camera or performance that you expect. So this is the sad reality. As of today, you can't get smaller phones. You want smaller phones, you gotta go Apple. Yes, there is the Sony compact line, but then again, it's just not as widely available, not as widely known. I don't even think the latest compact launched in India. Hey Ash, I'm looking for a budget phone within 15K. Camera, battery, stock Android are a priority and also updates. Is there any chance of an Android One program phone coming in the budget segment? Don't want Redmi phone with a MIUI though. Please don't say Redmi Note 5 Pro. So I would have said Redmi Note 5 Pro if you hadn't said it, but since you explicitly say no Redmi Note 5 Pro, I'd say wait for the Mi8 2. Wait a couple of months. See, it depends on what phone you have. If you can hold on for a phone for a couple of months, and if the Mi8 2 comes out, that should be a good deal. I don't see any other Android One phones. But if you want to get something right now, the Zenfone Max Pro might be something that works for you. It's still 636. Cameras are okay-ish. Performance is good. It's got stock Android. It's not Android One. It's got stock Android. Don't expect fast updates, but Asus says they are trying to give it 2 updates. So again, I don't know, for whatever it's worth. That would be the closest if you need to buy a phone today. Should I buy the OnePlus 6 or wait for the 6T to arrive? So guys, this is what it is. Do not buy a phone because it's marketed well. Do not buy a phone because you're liking what you're seeing in that phone. No, You buy a phone when your current phone is failing. You buy a phone if you have a reason to say my phone is messed up, it is lagging on me, the battery is failing, I don't like how the pictures come out, or something like that. If there's some reason why you're not satisfied with your phone, I see these kind of, should I upgrade from a 5T to a 6, or should I upgrade from I saw somebody ask me if they should upgrade from a Galaxy Note 8 to a OnePlus 6. I mean, unless and until you're filthy rich and you just want to upgrade, I don't blame you. You want your money, it's your right to spend it the way you see fit. But outside of that, if you're just upgrading, do not upgrade when you have a great phone in hand. Upgrade if you have some problem with your phone that you feel can't be fixed. So something like you ask if you should buy the 6 or wait for the 6T. When the 6T comes out, you're going to ask, should I buy the 6T or wait for the 7? And when the 7 comes out, it's the same question all over again, because these days, every 6 months, you've got a new phone coming out, if not earlier. So always ask yourself, is my current phone screwing up in some capacity? Do I need to upgrade? If the answer is yes, buy what's the best available at that point. Basically, do not buy a phone in February, because March, because April, May, you're seeing a lot of launches. Similarly, do not buy a phone in July, August, because September, October, you're gonna see a lot of, so you can either wait on those months and buy the phones people are selling at a cheaper price, or buy the new phone that's launching. So that's my take. Now that Xiaomi has established itself within the Indian market, don't you feel slight price hikes are actually healthy for the brand, since we'll see an overall better product and better updates? Do they still need to keep competing? An excellent question. Slight price hikes might actually be good for a brand in the long run, but I would prefer if they were upfront about it, instead of the kind of shady practice of renaming a Redmi 5 Plus as the Redmi Note 5 and selling the Redmi Note 5 as the Redmi Note 5 Pro in India, because the Redmi Note 5 didn't really make a lot of sense, did it? The end goal was to actually hike the price, which they did. The Redmi Note 5, the real Redmi Note 5 starts at 13,000 right now, instead of 10,000, 11,000, 10,000 like the last few years. So I'm okay. But if Xiaomi wants to increase prices, they need to show us something else. They need to show us availability. If you say you're gonna increase prices as a brand that's growing, if you feel you've established yourself in the market and you want to increase prices, well and good. I'm happy for you. But then again, show us availability. As an up-and-coming brand, as a new brand who is struggling, I can understand if you want to go flash sales. But for an established brand to go flash sales, that's no excuse. So you can either get the cheap prices with flash sales, or higher prices, no flash sales. Your pick. Xiaomi can go either way. I'd be happy with it. What do you guys think? Would you be happy paying a couple of grand extra if there was no flash sales to deal with, or 10% extra if there were no flash sales to deal with? Let me know in the comments below. So those are all the questions that I picked for today's episode of Ash Answers. Did you like it? Is there something you feel I should do different? With regards to presentation, with regards to whatever it is, whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. And I guess that's it for this video. If you hated it, you know what to do. If you did like it, go ahead, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the bell icon to turn on notifications so that you get notified every time a new video goes live here on C4 Retech. And I guess it's time I bid you adieu. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope Chennai wins today. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech. And I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Go CSK.